Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Rictator here again with another Division 2 video, and today I'm wanting to go over two easy builds for those of you that are looking for something different, something new, and something just to push through with this recent title update. I personally, prior to title update 9, was a skill build user. I have the Baker's Dozen and a bunch of other things associated with this, so not real happy with what they did with the M1A and a few other things, but I wanted to share these with you guys, as one is a skill build, the other one is an assault rifle build with an LMG. Both do very good, I wouldn't say min-maxing at massive damage numbers, but we're looking at between 2 and 5 million and melting enemies going through challenging, control points and missions and things like that. We're trying to grind for new gear, even going through the dark zone solo, having some fun with it. The assault rifle build you could possibly try and use in PvP. The only problem is it is almost glass cannon like, so you will get melted pretty quick, so be careful. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get in. The first build I'm wanting to get into is actually the skill build. This, prior to title update 9, was my primary build. I've had a ton of fun with it. Very easy to get, very easy to make, and I'll show you the rotation with it as well. The weapons that we do use are the Baker's Dozen. As you can see, these are not god rolls, but it is 2 max at crit hit damage and damage out of cover. Rifle damage is not maxed because primarily this is used for its mod with the technician specialization with the laser. I'll show you that in a second. But as perfect lucky shot for increase the magazine capacity, and miss shots have a 100% chance of returning the magazine, which is great. And then the alternate as well. Sweep Dreams, these are kind of the enemy's too damn close, we got to get them away weapons. I've been using Sweep Dreams, trying to get a better roll with it. Send Off is another one. I've been kind of going back and forth. I can't decide which one to ultimately use. I know this one has had a little bit more damage to armor, but this has got the better magazine capacity and range, but haven't really seen much of a difference between the two, so I keep them on hand just in case. Now, items and the weapons themselves, or I guess your gear and loadout. Hardwired is the gear set. We go through hardwired mostly because it's going to give you more skill haste, more skill damage. You can increase your repair skills, but the big thing is feedback loop, which is the whenever you use or cancel a skill, the other skill is automatically refreshed and increases the total damage and repair by 10% for 20 seconds. Can occur at most once per 20 seconds, as you can see here. Very nice to actually have. So I actually am using the hardwire set for mask, for gloves, for the holster, knees, and hands. Backpack, though, I'm using Acosta's Go Bag. Reason why: it gives you an additional skill tier. Haste, it's not a god roll by any means. I'm trying to grind and get a better one, but for the time being, this is working perfectly. Skill haste, skill damage, skill haste again, of course, with the mod. Talents, 1 in hand, you're getting an additional grenade. 2 in the bag, you're getting more armor capacities, more grenades, ammo capacity, repair skills, and status effects. This thing is great for skill builds just because it gives you more armor, gives you more grenades to start off with the hardwired build, since grenade damage is going to start off with a lot of the with the overload to increase your skill tier. That way you get increased additional skill use, so your turret can fire faster, do more damage, things like that. Now, the rotation for this, like I said, very simple, and you don't have to use Baker's Dozen. It has to be just any type of rifle that you can put this specific mod on. This is from the technician. It's the laser pointer. So what it can do is it guides where your turret will fire. You can actually snipe through this as well. So if you are hiding behind cover, you can actually lean over and scope through the turret and get headshots with the turret, and it's so much fun. Big boys with turrets that come through on missions, I'm able, prior to title update 9, I could 2 or 3 shot them with this. Now we're looking at still 3 to 5, sometimes 6, depending on where it hits on the body. Still very good, very strong capability, especially if you're running solo missions for a skill build. And then the seeker mines are great to have just for additional damage or finding enemies that may be hiding around cover or hiding from your turret. Plus, your rotation can cancel this. This is 1 shot left. Go ahead, cancel it out, brings your seeker mine right back because of the hardwired set, and you toss it right back out to him to do more damage. Now, for the rotation of this, I'm going to show you kind of how it goes. So first things first, this is what I end up doing. I want to throw a grenade out first to do a little bit of damage. Go ahead and toss my Seeker Mine out as well, because with the Seeker Mine out, it's now going to blast. We did the grenade damage. Let's go ahead and put the turret out, and bad boy is going to fire every 2 seconds. And as you can see, we're doing 5.5 DPS on that last one, 5.5 on the last damage hit. We're doing damage there. And when I brought the turret out, look, Seeker Mine's already back. But all you can do is basically it's just going to shoot as you want. Now, the good thing is going to look where you're looking, but with this laser on your weapon, it is actually going to track what target you are looking at, basically. And what I was mentioning before, if you want to fire, you zoom in and see it follows exactly where you're going. So if I want to headshot this bad boy, bye, done. That last shot did 2.7. So we were doing upwards of 5, because what happens with the hardwired and the grenade, when you get the overload and the boost, it gives additional damage. So I've been doing upwards of 5.5 to 6 million sometimes for that first 15 seconds. Just melting enemies. Very simple, very easy. And like I said, it just kind of goes easy enough. Here, let's do this. I'll show you this. So Seeker Mine goes out. This is part of the hardwired. Seeker Mine goes out. Up, Seeker Mine's done. Let's go ahead and get rid of the turret. Seeker Mine's right back. Very simple build, very simple rotation as it goes through. And because you're focusing on the haste as well for your skills, the cooldown time for the turret is about 12 to 15 seconds. So I can bring it right back out, and as soon as it's brought right back out, we're good to go. Now, the difference is if you don't start with the overload of the grenade before issuing your turret, you do see that it focuses and has a little bit slower fire rate. Instead of every 2 seconds, you're probably looking every 4 to 5. Still doing good damage. Here, I'll just kind of go through this, just let it aim a little bit again. You don't get the big push, but that last hit was almost 5 million by itself. We'll go through and do this again. But very simple, very easy, very fun. Easy to your hide mine cover. The good thing as well is, like I mentioned, the Costas Go Bag gives you more med kits, gives you more grenades, so you can constantly start that rotation to generate the extra energy for your skills and do more damage. Now, the other build I'm wanting to go through real quick. This is actually let me go ahead and reset that. The other build is my AR build. It is pretty simple as well. I don't know why they called it sharpshooter. Skill is on active or cooldown. All right, let's go refresh it. Hold on. There, that's easy enough. Now, the other one is an AR build with an LMG. This one was one a buddy of mine recommended. It's very, very simple to make, only counting one exotic right now. And you could even replace this if you wanted to. Technically, I'm trying to get Bullet King for the LMG spot. Right now I'm using Glory Days, not a true god roll by any means, but still very fun. Perfect nearsighted, so 100% stability with optimal range decrease, but I have 15% assault rifle damage, 20% health damage, headshot damage, and everything else. 750 rounds per minute with a mag. I need to get a better specialization for this. Haven't on this piece. The first one, your specialization was the rockets, the technician. For this build, technician's been fine. You could probably do demolitionist if you wanted to with a grenade launcher. You could probably roll survivalist if you wanted to as well. Some people have used I can't remember the minigun's name at this point, but they've used that one. But I don't really use the specialization that much, as long as you're getting the additional damage output from the build. And I'm currently working on a Nemesis build to work on the sharpshooter, so that's actually that's gonna be fun too. But let me show you the damage output of this. The build for this, Glory Days, like I said, or you can use any other assault rifle that's named, or even exotic if you want to, with a good damage output. Big thing I'm looking for is rounds per minute just to melt. Bullet King is the one I'm looking to do because it's going to give additional LMG damage. But Carnage is the one I'm going with. The perk associated with it is Perfect Sadist, so I'm getting weapon damage while bleeding. But after 3 kills, automatically get bleed applied to the next one. So I'm constantly doing damage over them as well. Max LMG, not a god roll by any means, but still working on trying to get that going through. And then outside of that, your armors, I'm using the Coyote's Mask, so I'm getting, your big focus on this build is crit hit damage, chance, and weapon damage. So increased on everything else with the instincts on this as well. All allies gain bonus based on distance last enemy hit, so I'm getting, I additional pieces on this as well for increased percentages on crit hit, chance, damage, and between the meters themselves, which is really nice. Now, for the loadouts, it is a mixed bag of things, not an actual set per se. I've heard that some of the sets don't really do as much damage output, so I kind of mix and match. These are very easy to find. First one I'm using is a Grupo Sombra with weapon damage, crit chance, and crit hit damage. Spotter is the perk. I was not really sure what the talent I should use on this one, but I like the Spotter one because reason why it's easy to get. Amplifies weapon damage to pulsed enemies. So I'm going to use the pulse as the primary. Very simple. Your primary skill, I'm getting an additional 15% plus. It shows you the battlefield at that point since you are so squishy. Seska Vairoba for the next one. For the Vairoba, you have weapon damage, crit hit damage. Focus on there. Like I said, these are the primary things to focus on. Backpack, I'm using another Seska with Composure. With Composure in there, that's the one you kind of want to focus on. While in cover, it's increasing your weapon damage, your total weapon damage by 15%. So because you are so squishy, you are not true glass cannon, because I do have one little mod in this. Not a ton, but it's just protection from elites. This is one good little thing to add, is a little survivability piece. It's not real bad to get through, but as you can see, more weapon damage, elites, that kind of thing. Trying to get a better one to get rid of the weapon handling and change it over to crit, but we'll see what I end up finding at that point. Gloves, Providence Defense, headshot damage, crit hit damage because of the combos here. So I'm using 2 Providence, headshot and crit hit with weapon damage chance and going through there. 1 Grupo Sombra because of the crit hit damage. And then 2 Seskas. Probably you could do 1 Seska with the crit hit damage, and then if you wanted to go all Providence, you could, like 3 Providence at that point. Big mixing at that point. I'm just gonna basically put it this way: you mix this how you want to mix it, as long as you're focusing on headshot, crit hit, crit damage, or weapon damage. You will melt everything around you, especially with high range. And then of course I said Revive Hive and Pulse. Now let me show you what this does. Real easy. I'm doing named as well. Let's pause this, reset it. So I'm going to hide behind cover. Let's go ahead. Pulse. Bad representation. Hold on. There we go. Named on challenging. Let's go ahead and pull this bad boy up. Look at there. I'm doing upwards of almost 6 million per second. Last hit's going between 2, but because of the rounds, I don't know why my mouse is doing that. But it just melts through people. Here, I'll come over here and show this one as well. So you're doing upwards of 6 per second because of everything going through, and it just melts everything. But if you go through, blast. This is what it's like just to go through a control point, basically. And after 3, you get the bleed. And look, bleeding. Perfect. Now it's doing way more damage. You see that icon pop up? You burn. The problem with this build, though, is you burn through bullets. Not only do you melt enemies, you burn through bullets. Go one more time. Very simple. Like I said, very super simple. I've been able to run challenging or heroic control points on solo with this. You just got to be a little careful. You just got to maintain that you are behind cover to maintain that. Get the bonus. And then just push. Just have fun. See, look at that. Name target on challenging, and it's just melting through the name. Especially once you get headshots, it's done. It's over. The only problem is like I said, you do burn through bullets. And look at it, I'm all the way up to 10 on DPS. Real simple. Real simple, chat. All right, well, that's going to do it. I'm going to just stop there. It's real simple at this point. Real easy builds. 2 easy builds. Primary one for the DPS, you choose your specialization as how you want to build it, but make sure you're focusing on LMG and assault rifle damage. I have the assault rifles for high RPMs, or rounds per minute, focusing on rifle damage and then either damage out of cover or the damage of the weapon itself. Items, ultimately focusing on crit hit damage and then crit hit chance and weapon damage associated with it. Headshot damage is there too, and I use the Coyote's Mask. That's almost a god roll, which is pretty nice. But make sure you kind of mix between these. I'm sure you can find a lot of these online, but this one is actually relatively simple since all these gears drop everywhere. Most of these I actually got through running just standard missions as well, not even, or even some of them I think just side quests within the world that they came through. But very, very easy, very simple. Focus on crit hit damage, chance, and weapon damage, and then mix at least 2 Providence Defense, 1 Seska, and then 1 Grupo, and then your exotic if you wish to, and then Pulse. And then once again, skill build. You have your Baker's Dozen with a shotgun or weapon of choice, because all you're doing really is deploying with your hardwired set, tossing a grenade, tossing your seeker out, issuing your turret, and then having your rifle aim your turret for even more damage. So anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What builds have you been working on? What builds are you focusing on? Is there something I should possibly change? Excuse me, and not die while I speak. Is there something I should change and look forward more to, or maybe even add, other than trying to find more god rolls for this piece? But these were just 2 quick and easy ones I tossed together after Title Update 9 with all the crap that went on with there. Hopefully 9.1 will help us a little bit more and change some of the skill builds since they got nerfed to the ground. But let me know what you think in the comments below. What have you been working on? What have you been changing up as well? And hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Also, if you are a night owl like I am in my community, we do stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Central Time to usually about 1:30, 2 a.m., something like that. Part-time gamer, full-time dad, like I said before, so when family goes to sleep, we game and have fun. We do play The Division, we play Apex and other looter shooters over there as well, so we hope to see you in chat sometime. But anyways, that will do it for today's video. Thank you all for watching again. Also, if you have not already, hit that like button and subscribe for future other content like guides like this, reaction videos, and things like that. But I appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone. Take care and stay safe.